Nice to
How are
see
you?
you.
Nice to see you too. What's going on?
Nothing is going on. This imposter of a guy had taken over the account for the last 5 minutes. I
Nice.
I had made an attempt to comb my hair, but then I realized that it's already 7 o'clock. It will take me 7 a.m. next morning in order to comb my hair. So,
You look great. Don't worry.
oh, thank you very much. This is very kind of you. But firstly, let me welcome this real superstar on the show. I tell everyone who comes on the show that they're a superstar. Okay, so.
Nice.
No, but honestly, this is a superstar for one reason that, and she has a lot of similarity with me. Her brand and my brand are known by our names.
That's right.
But the only difference is everyone knows her brand, nobody knows my brand. Everyone knows Miss Malini. She's a blogger. She's a super producer, director, writer, content creator, actor, social activist. What do you not do?
I don't know yet. I guess I don't do what you do so far, I suppose.
This is I think this is a taunt at my this is a jibe at my stand-up comedy. Listen, I'm an aspiring stand-up comic.
I've always wanted to do stand up, but I'm petrified. In fact, my friend Nitin Marani keeps trying to get me to open for him, but I'm too scared to do it. But maybe in this quarantine, I will practice a set, and one day I will.
You should, and if you want a platform to practice the sets, there is this one platform that is always looking for a good host and somebody who can replace that guy, that imposter, that opening act, the guy who did it.
But I want to know where you are that you have this incredible view. Are you at home? Is this your house?
This is my house. This is the
That's
small,
incredible.
humble abode that I call home, which is all the effort of my father's hard work, and I am enjoying a legacy and spending and wasting his money.
You are living the dream, my friend.
No, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not living the dream. Outside of quarantine, I work really hard. In quarantine, I hardly work. But tell me, how are you spending your quarantine? What are you doing? What's your normal day like?
Well, my day is kind of quite hectic actually. My calendar is still busy. As you know, all of us are doing crazy amounts of our Instagram lives. My entire team is still working, so we're doing a lot of Zoom and Google Hangouts to discuss work. We're blogging, doing social media. I'm actually working on my second book, so I'm trying to write in the quarantine. Fingers crossed I finish it. I've got 1/5 of it done, but writing is not easy, especially when you're stuck in the same space for so long.
1/5 as in your it's exactly 1/5 and it's not 1/4 or 1/3.
It's exactly 1/5 because I'm going to write 50,000 words and I've written 10,000.
Very smart. This is very.
According to my math, we should be good.
Listen, math is a class that I never took in school. Like I took it because it was a compulsory subject, but then I had to drop midway through because my teacher said, you can only give a person 0 on 100. You can't give negative marks. But
I somehow feel you managed to get some negatives. I have a feeling that if anybody could do it, it would be you.
Listen, it's okay for me to make self-deprecating jokes.
I'm practicing my set, Rishabh. I'm practicing.
I'm joking, but honestly, you've been doing such wonderful work. Everybody knows you for the Malini and the pages that are there, but you've also been doing some phenomenal work with your girl tribe. Can you shed some more light on that? If that's okay.
Yeah.
If it's not a top
Absolutely.
secret.
No, it's not top secret. And in fact, I'm going to ask everyone to do a little exercise. I want all the guys who are watching right now to give me, put an angry emoji if anyone has ever sent you a creepy DM. Just the guys, okay? All right, let's see how many we get. Now, I want all the girls who get a creepy DM or have ever gotten a weird message to send me an angry face emoji. And we'll give it a second, and I'm going to tell you why I started the Girl Tribe for this very specific reason. More often than not, you will always find just have so much junk in their message boxes, right? Constantly. And so I decided we needed to create a safe space for women. So basically, as you can see, yes, so Kari, Visha, Anjali, everyone is reacting correctly. This is exactly what happens. So I wanted to create a safe space for women where they can connect with each other and just, be kind and empathetic and fun and positive, because we all know, right? Unfortunately, on the internet, people can be nasty and angry and defensive and, whatever that is. But in Malini's Girl Tribe, if you join the group, it's on Facebook. We just hit 40,000 members yesterday. It's just a wonderful space to connect and talk about everything from mental health to work to literally everything under the sun.
40,000 people.
40,000. And so, like, I know, like, see, our virtual digital reach is much higher when you look at public social media. But I find the satisfaction of talking to women in this group so much higher because, I'll tell you what happens, Rishabh. When you go online or social media, you go to a celebrity's page, there's all these 7 billion people, it's going to be great, but nobody really reacts to them. Nobody really comments, and so you feel really lonely. But if you join Malini's Girl Tribe, you see that everyone gets a response. No matter what they're talking about, there's love, there's kindness and empathy. So you feel like you're having a real life experience.
So even I get a response if I would join that group. Would I also get a response?
Well, this group is only for girls, but we have another one called Creative Masculinity where all the boys can join, definitely. But unfortunately, in India, at least right now, I can't add the guys to this group because otherwise we'll have a lot more angry faces in that group as well.
Fair. But you're doing some wonderful work. 40,000 women together. Listen, can we borrow some of them when we go live? Because usually,
Sure.
Yeah. So out of the 40,000 people, please kindly note this, Abhishek. Malini is going to send us 4,000 people every live.
Every live to come what? Yeah, definitely. Let's see whatever you have to offer. You can let us know, and we'll see. We'll put it out there for the universe to decide.
No, that's very, very kind of you. And I think what you're doing out there is something really wonderful. And
Thank you.
To be able, no, because when people talk about Miss Malini, that time they talk about you knowing everything about Bollywood. Like if there's something that happens in Bollywood, the first person that come to know about it is Miss Malini. But when I learned about your Girl Tribe, and this I knew about before we got in touch with you, and when I said we want to go in conversation with Miss Malini, my team said, can you ask her who's now dating who in Bollywood? And I said, she has an entire page dedicated to that, and that's really cool. But at this point in time, she's doing some phenomenal stuff with the Girl Tribe. And when I told all the girls in the team, in the leadership team of the organization, they were even more inspired. And that's
I'm so happy to hear that.
You should
Thank
definitely
you. I
talk
want to
about.
say a big hi to everyone who's saying hi. Hi, Ashna. Hi, Dhruvi. Hi, Kin. It's so nice to see everybody watching and interacting. That's, I think, one of the great things that, we were able to all connect like this. No, I actually, and I get it. Everybody always wants gossip. Everybody loves a little gossip. But honestly, I made myself a rule very early on that I will never write anything I can't say to your face. So, which is kind of an interesting rule to have if you cover entertainment, because 80% of the things I probably have heard, I will never write. But I think it's a very good rule to apply for everyone. Think about it. The next time you're commenting, think, would I be able to say this to somebody's face? And if not, then I don't think you should be able to type it.
But then that's the problem. No, people usually, they think and they talk. Correct.
Yeah.
They think and they write. But what about people like me? We talk and then we think. And we write and then we think.
So you type it, then before you hit enter, you think about it, or you call your friend. Who's your friend over there who was filming the ocean earlier on?
My friend, here he is. Abhishek, say hi. Hi, Abhishek.
Abhishek, I'm putting you in charge of checking Rishabh's post before he posts anything henceforth. He is now your official police.
But listen, in my case, Malini, there's nothing to worry. Like in your case, if you say something, it becomes like the talk of the town. Even if I shouted, if I even defenestrated myself from here, if I jumped out of the window, there would be exactly one person. There would be only one person who would be concerned and who in fact would be very happy. This man out here would be very happy. This man would be very happy because he'd be like, finally he's left us. Finally.
I'm pretty sure he loves you. I can see it. I can see it from the way when you flip the camera.
No, he's not cooking here. He's just standing next to the television. I wish he was cooking. He eats all the food in my house. Have you seen? Look at his size. He's 82 kgs. Sorry, 182 kgs, and he eats all the food in my house. But
I think, honestly, Rishabh, I think we take life too seriously. Clearly you don't, but I think a lot of us take life too seriously. And I think that it's important that we, zoom out and channel our inner Rishabh a little bit,
Thank you, Malini, for that very kind statement. I've become a part-time comedian and clown at 7 p.m. People used to once take me very seriously, and if you look at the organization profile, it's a very serious organization, okay? But now, the show, they say, but Rishabh, when did you start behaving like a lunatic? And I said, there was a lunatic deep down within, and there is one of us. But we need to see the bright side.
On day 37, the other Rishabh has emerged.
No, but tell me, what's the biggest upside to the pandemic? Of course, these small little joys, but what, according to you, is the biggest upside to the pandemic?
I think the biggest upside is the human race has got a serious reality check. And I think that it's kind of an equalizer, right? In the sense that, I mean, obviously we all have a lot of privilege, so not equalizer in that sense, but the entire world is facing something together for a change. You know, otherwise you always hear there's war somewhere or there was an attack somewhere else, and you think that this is not going to happen to me. This is what happens to other people. But this is happening to all of us collectively. And I think it is going to bring the world closer together. I think that, you know, we always talk about the future and we think the future will happen when we have flying cars. But bro, this is the future. We're in it. This is happening. It's not going to be the way it is in all these apocalyptic movies. And I think that, you know, technology is definitely going to skyrocket and advance. My second book, I'm writing about this, and the next generation Alpha, are going to have jobs that don't yet exist. And I think this time is actually going to help us figure out what those are.
You spoke about Generation Alpha, but what about Generation Beta and Generation Theta and all of the others?
Well, you know, we don't know if they're going to be called that yet. That's too soon to decide. But right now, they're the ones who are going to be coming in the, you know, I guess 2040s or something. I can't even imagine what that's like. I was pretty jazzed to hear that the Pentagon released this footage of the UFOs. I'm like, great, it's all happening. I was hoping we make alien contact in my lifetime. But right now it's just an unidentified flying object. But I genuinely feel that there's a shift happening. You didn't see that? They declassified some video footage of some flying objects that they were sort of leaked on the internet for a while, that they were flying at this crazy pace, and now they've declassified them, saying that yes, they're unidentified flying objects. They haven't said they're aliens as such or, you know, intelligent life, but that this is actually real footage.
It could be just some plane from USSR that could be a stealth. I mean,
actually, they did identify that it's nothing that they've seen before, and the way that they described it. You should just Google it, it's all over the news.
But that could be Abhishek's stomach as well. Nobody's seen the side of it.
You have to stop shaming Abhishek. I'm gonna start a be nice to Abhishek hashtag on your behalf.
Oh gosh. No, but it is. Most of the times I'm making jokes on myself about myself, but now today, because I have this wonderful boy to keep company, why not? That said, let me move on. Let me move on to. I must clarify that he's a very sweet boy. But let me move on to the next part, which is Tumbi Karuna.
Okay.
But before we begin, where do you get the accent from? Are you part American?
So I was born in India, but from 0 to 17, I was all over the world. My father was a diplomat, so he was the Indian ambassador. So I grew up in Somalia, Lebanon, Greece, Germany, Bulgaria, Ivory Coast, the US. So I went to American schools, and the accent sticks, you know, if your entire education is done. So it's kind of a mixed accent. So I spell things the British way, but I speak the American accent. And it changes depending who I'm talking to. It's just one of the things that happens to Diplo brats. It's not really in my control, so it's not something that I'm making up. It's just the way I speak.
Diplo brats is a new word. This is the new word that I've learned today. The new word for the day is Diplo brats. But, but this is pretty exciting. Your father was an ambassador, and he was an ambassador. And see, you've got a reason for your accent, right? You've got a reason because you've traveled so many places. People ask me, why are you sounding so funny? I say, this is part of the job. This is how. But you traveled to. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
You said you stayed in Yemen and you stayed in all of these wonderful places.
Not Yemen. I lived in Somalia, Lebanon, Greece, Germany, Bulgaria, Ivory Coast. So every 3 years he'd get a new posting. So we would uproot and move. And it was the best. I had the best life growing up. It was the most amazing education. I always tell people travel is the best. And whenever people say, you know, what about my kids? I'll uproot them. No, do it. It's great. Like my best friend through school was Korean. And, you know, so I learned so much about life, you know, and it gave me a lot of confidence, definitely. I definitely want to go back to all these places. And like I graduated from, you know, like middle school and stuff in Ivory Coast. And I would never have thought to go to Abidjan, right? But it was amazing. I wouldn't change a thing.
Listen, this is very fascinating and something that again, like I said, is something that's not spoken as much about you. The fact that you were a Diplo brat.
Yes.
But I must ask you that question because I find very few people who've been to Ivory Coast in the first place.
Right.
I don't think
I lived there before it was so war-torn. So I was there like early 90s.
Then you must know this. Who is the 12th president of Ivory Coast?
I have no idea. I'm really sorry.
Just when I thought you would make your father proud. Just when I
know.
thought you would make your father proud, this is what you've
Always
done.
wanted to me get into the foreign service, but I just couldn't do it. What's the
Not
answer?
even- sorry, there's a technical glitch. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You could literally have made anything up and I would believe you. So you're
I know the answer. His name was Abu Dija II.
right.
Tell me, what can young people sit at home and do? What can they do apart from waiting for your next book, following you on Malani Girls Tribe, joining that 40,000 member group? What else can they do?
I think there's so much to do. I think right now the great thing is there's so many content creators who are literally sitting and watching this. I think, figure out who you are. Right now it's all about authentic content. This is a great time to figure out what makes you happy. I know it sounds a little existential, but step back and think about one thing, okay? Just close your eyes for a second and think, what is the one thing I would do for the rest of my life, even if nobody paid me to do it? And make that your career. What would it be?
This.
Living the dream. This. There you
This.
go. Yeah. So that, and there nobody's paying you, so you're fine. So I think that's literally, I think it's this is a really good time to figure out who you are, what you love to do. And honestly, the pressure people are putting on themselves that I must leave the quarantine having learned a new language or a new skill or become a master chef. Don't put this on yourself. Do what makes you happy, how much you enjoy. There's no obligation to suddenly become a world-class whatever by the end of the quarantine. This is just a good break. Take a break.
If my mother is listening to this, please understand, Mom, the reason I don't go into the kitchen because this is the kind of pressure I don't want.
Yes.
This is the pressure I don't want. Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Auntie.
Madam. but Malini, honestly, you're super chill, and I think this is the right advice for young people. Because I think there's so many people who come on and say, do this, do that, do this, and then I'm like, but how much will these guys do? Just to go and find yourself is what is the most important thing. Be who you
Right.
are.
Just be happy. Just try to find a way. And I know it's stressful. I know I also get fried. I wake up some days and I'm like, what the fuck is this happening? Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. But it's just, I think it's just okay. It's fine. Just take a break. We take our lives so seriously. Just, come and watch this channel, hang out with Rishabh, check out his view.
Yeah. Listen,
Easy-
now I'm
easy
like,
peasy.
this get better. But Malini, let me also ask you: do you read often? Do you watch Netflix? Do you what's
I
the
do.
preferred?
All of the above. So I really like to make puzzles. So I have this 3,000 piece puzzle going right now, which I really enjoy. I do love to read, so I'm trying to catch up with all these other books that I've been, pending. I'm reading a really good book called A Place for Us, which is amazing. But I'm trying to write my book, which is taking a lot of time, and I'm finding it a bit stressful. And I do binge shows. I finished Money Heist. I'm going to watch Blacklist. There's a show called Upload on Amazon Prime. I heard is really good. I watch Hell's Kitchen just, for fun. So, and I love all the reality shows, The Circle, Love is Blind, everything. I binge pretty much everything.
And because you mentioned Hell's Kitchen, do you like this wonderful guy called Gordon Ramsay?
I'm conflicted about him. I get it. I get what he does, but I can't handle how much he yells at people sometimes.
He's an inspiration for our very famous primetime show, Shoe Anchor at 9 p.m.
Right.
Both yell as loudly as possible. I will not take
Nice.
any names because I cannot get sued. But even if they
Right.
sued me, there is no way that they can drag me to court because courts are not functioning.
Courts are closed. That's true. This
No,
is
no,
your
but-
chance, Rishabh, to live your best life.
So I like everyone. I'm fond of everybody. I'm like Miss Malini, like how she is in Bollywood with everyone in Bollywood. Like everyone loves you. When you ask anybody in Bollywood, how's Miss Malini? She's fantastic. She's good. There's not a single person that I know.
Why does everyone in Bollywood have a British accent when you do it?
What is it?
Fantastic. Like a little
This-
tea.
This is the stand-up comedian. This is the
I
stand-up
know, it's
comedian.
inside. Somewhere inside.
But look, well, what do they do in order to follow your footsteps, and how do they become the next Miss Malini? There's so many aspiring people. And
Sure. I mean, yeah.
wonderful.
It's a good question. I think for me, people always ask me this question, like, how did you build the brand? Honestly, I didn't know I was going to do this because when I was doing this, there was no such career. There was no such thing as becoming a professional blogger or an influencer.
Right.
That word didn't exist. I started in 2008. So I think my
Right.
best advice to you, instead of thinking about how do you replicate what somebody else has done, and I feel that I'm really living proof of this, is, it's amazing to feel like I forged a path in a career that didn't exist. So step back and think about the things that you actually love to do. There's an amazing concept, a Japanese concept called Ikigai. I don't know if you've heard it. And it says your true passion
to have
and
you.
purpose lies at the center of 4 questions, right? What you love to do, what you're good at doing, what you can get paid to do, and what the world needs. And find that answer and it'll get there. If you're looking at more technical advice, I think it's important to get the basics right. Figure out what you want to write about, what you want to be an influencer about. I know now bloggers are now called influencers, now they're called content creators. So figure out your niche. That's the most important thing. I think it is a bit harder right now because there's so much more competition. But collaboration is a big way to do it. Find other people who are doing similar things, who are interested in similar topics, and collaborate with them. I've literally got the whole A to C to brand building in my first book. So please pick up a copy and you'll get more advice. Or you can hit me up on email on malini@missmalini.com or Twitter. I'm happy to answer more specific questions.
Super. And this is the best way to have marketed, integrated, and also given good life advice.
That's how it's done.
So let me take you to the last of what we do. It's a quick rapid fire. I want to ask you a
Sure.
few questions, and please try to answer as honestly as possible.
Done.
Done. And because now you represent all of all of this, all of the news which nobody's heard about. So
Sure.
one piece of news about Bollywood which you can tell us, because it would be a shame if I didn't ask you this question. One piece of Bollywood, one news in Bollywood which you've not yet released and which is super cool, which you can release here.
The thing is, everybody was really concerned about whether Alia and Ranbir had broken up. Clearly, there's proof that they have not now. So that's some good news that they are. They're going to get married as soon as they can. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't any super exciting news from Bollywood. I wish I could make something up for you. But the truth is, everyone's just, living their life right now and doing their thing, cleaning their fans, cooking,
I
washing
could
dishes.
I could give you a piece of information which is not heard before in Bollywood.
Go ahead, give it to me, and then I will blog it.
Dharma Productions has signed this new young dynamic anchor.
Congratulations.
It's not, how did you know it's me?
I did. Something gave it away.
No. Lots of love to Karan, but I think he stays really far away from me. Like really far away from me. Like
He's
literally
actually,
far away.
I can tell you, he actually lives very close to me. So a piece of news I can tell you is that I have a telescope, and the next time he has a party, I'm going to say hi and be like, I'm watching.
Listen, this is the reason why you get all this information, because you have telescopes into all this. Anyone from Bollywood, please pay attention. If you don't want to give information to Miss Malini, please make sure that all the buildings around you do not have a telescope.
Or just close your curtain. That's probably easier.
Shit, she's smart. She's a diplomat.
Strategy.
No, but tell me, but your favorite food. What's your favorite food to binge on?
Literally anything with bacon in it. Yeah.
Anything with bacon in it.
Yeah. Rishabh, I'm going to make you do something. I think you might be fun. I want to hear your answers. So it's a little psychoanalysis game. All right? So I'll be so interested to hear your answers. I'm going to ask you three. I'm going to ask you to imagine 3 things. Okay? And then at the end of it, I'm going to tell you what it's supposed to say about you. And then we'll see what everyone says. Are you ready?
Not really, but okay.
Okay. So now, start by clear your mind. Clear your mind. And everyone else can do this too. Okay. So do this along with us. Clear your mind. Okay.
There's nothing in my mind to clear.
I know. That's why I didn't ask for too long. Okay. Now picture a cube. It can be any size, any texture. It doesn't have to adhere to gravity per se. Imagine what it looks like. Is it transparent? Is it opaque? Got it? Okay. Now imagine a ladder somewhere in relation to this cube. Where is it?
So do I have to tell you my cue or do I just have to describe it?
Describe the cube.
So I pictured a dice which was like a cube, and
Right.
which was red in color.
Okay. And you could see all the
And-
numbers, like it was a proper die.
Yeah, it was a proper dice with all the numbers and so on. So, and it had and the ladder was so it was halfway through the ladder. The dice was
Right.
halfway through the ladder,
On the
and
ladder.
the horse
Interesting.
on the ladder, and the horse was having was chewing grass, and somehow the ladder and the dice were next to the horse, and
Got
it was
yeah.
it was a white horse with it was white and it had a golden mane. And it was huge. And when the storm came in, the ladder fell, the dice fell, and the horse ran away.
Interesting. So now I'm going to tell you what it's supposed to mean. Now I'm not, I'm not an analyst, but I'll tell you what it's for, and then you can make of it what you will. All right? Are you ready for this? Okay. So the cube is your perception of yourself, your ego, or how you see yourself. The ladder is your relationship with your friends. So it's interesting that some people. The interesting thing is that nobody ever describes the same. I've never heard of more than like two people say the same cube or ladder or horse. The horse is your current significant other or your ideal significant other, your perception of them, right? And the storm is how you deal with adversity. What happens in that scenario?
I
So-
ran away.
The truth is,
No, I do.
I just.
Isn't-
The interesting thing I find about this is that nobody's ever said the same thing. I've only heard, so two people have ever said Rubik's Cube. Mine was a pink furry cube for some reason, like a Muppet type cube. My ladder was leaning on the cube. My horse wasn't a real horse. It was a gold, those statues where the horse is like with its legs up. And when the storm came, the ladder just spun around the cube. I find it so fascinating. One, that this is the way that, it's just how people think so differently. And two, that if I ever asked you these same questions, what is your perception of yourself? What's your relationship with your friends? What's your ideal other? And how do you deal with adversity? How you wouldn't be able to answer those questions. But this visual may be some insight.
This lady's a psychologist. You're not a
I just-
psychiatrist, because then otherwise I will have to seek an appointment. Not for me.
I just think don't you think it's fascinating, Rishabh? I think it's fascinating.
No, but it's really fascinating, yeah. But and it's actually true. Whenever it comes to adversity or negativity or things which I cannot handle, I would rather
Yeah.
duck in comparison to face these kind of scenarios, because I don't think I'd like negativity, and I like
Sure.
you just
I think, and I think it's so interesting. Everyone has their different interpretations. I've heard such interesting ones where somebody had a glass cube and the ladder was zigzagging inside the cube. I've heard some where they could just some people, there was a friend of mine who's like, okay, I can see the cube and the ladder and I can see 6 horses. And when the storm comes, all 6 run away. And I'm like, player, clearly. So,
oh god, but do you double up as a psychologist?
no, but I've always found it fascinating. I dabble in it. I love these psychoanalysis sort of games. I think it's just so interesting, and I think it's a great icebreaker.
It is a very good
Try
icebreaker,
it,
but
try it with your friends. Try it with your friends and see. Try it with Abhishek later on.
I will try it with Abhishek. I will definitely try it with Abhishek. But I won't be able to tell and read as much as you can. Now I'm a little
Well,
worried
you-
what she thinks
yeah.
about you guys. I don't know what she thinks about
I
me.
think I think the cube is. I thought your dice was so fascinating that it was so clearly red. I thought that was so interesting. You didn't picture the average white dice. So, distinctly in your mind, you had, I don't know what exactly it means, but it's interesting.
Something positive, guys. It's something positive. I'm not average. I'm either way below average or I'm way above average. But I'm not average, and that is the positive. But
Or you are the great gambler in life. How about that?
the only time that I tried to gamble, and this was not real money, I lost the bet and the wager. Since then, I've safely realized, and this was 2 boxes of pizzas that I lost to a friend in school. Since then, I've
Right.
realized that I'm pathetic at gambling. And even when I went to Las Vegas, I let my friends gamble. I stood there whilst they were gambling. They were not gambling, but you play. And I looked at them and I said, I will not participate in any of this because I'm afraid of losing the little money that I have. Remember, I'm a Gujarati, okay? So I don't spend money.
I'm Marwari. I feel you. I get it.
But okay, last two questions, Malini. One question that I want to ask you, and because you've come, it's a must. Who is your favorite actor in Bollywood? This is a must. Actor as in actor,
As in-
actress.
For their talent or as a person?
As a person, not for the talent.
As a
For the
person.
talent,
Yeah.
as a person.
Yeah. As a person, I really love Ranveer Singh. He's just such a great vibe, such great energy, so positive, absolutely lovely. And I love Deepika Padukone. Honestly, I wasn't saying it because they're a couple. She's just super, super sweet and lovely. But I also feel the same way about Priyanka Chopra. So
Listen, she chills with all these really cool people, no? So then she's just like, so Ranveer and then Deepika and then this one. And I'm like, I also know all of these people. But the only difference between her and me is these people know her. And in my case, I know them.
I'm
you want-
sure that they would be absolutely fascinated by you if they met you. So I wouldn't worry too much.
The word was fascinated, guys. Please understand, it was fascinated and nothing else. But
Exactly.
the last question I want to ask you is, if you had to recommend one book to young people to read, apart from your book, which book would it be?
Can I recommend two?
Not really, but because you're Miss Malini Okida.
Okay. So the one book that my favorite book ever is called Still Life with Woodpecker. And it's all about falling in love inside a packet of cigarettes. It's a very cute book. You must read. And the other one is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Highly recommended. It is an incredible book and you can pick it up and read it at any given point. Basically, simple theme is don't panic. Have you read it, Rishabh?
I have read it, but I'm not read it completely. You know, with
Yeah,
me, what
so
happens when I pick
So
up
I'll
the
tell
book? Bulu, bulu, bulu.
Sorry. So there's something fascinating because in the book it says the answer to love, life, and the universe is the number 42, and people never understood what that means. But Douglas Adams, who's the author, was also a coder. So in code, very often when you want to replace the asterisk means anything you want it to be. You use the number 42 sometimes. So he was trying to subliminally say that the answer to love, life, universe, and everything is whatever you want it to be, which I thought is fascinating.
She's very, very fascinating, very, very intellectual and very well read. This lady is a combination of all of these things. Before you go, the final question.
Sure.
According to you, which is your favorite platform to interact with young people? And be very careful, be very mindful of the fact that there are many young people watching this and there are going to be very many young people who are going to be watching you. So I'm going to give you
I
options.
think the best to interact or like to, sorry, to as in like to consume content, like you're asking me what my favorite social media platform is?
No. Which is your favorite youth organization? Youth-
That, okay.
Yeah, where you can engage with young people. That is the
Well,
question. And I'm
obviously
giving
this
you-
one. Obviously this one. I mean, that's not even a question, right?
I was like, when will it happen? But honestly, you've honestly been a sport. It's been a lot of fun. I can safely say that there is so much to Miss Malini, which is beyond the Miss Malini page. And that is the side that we got to see today. And I'm exceedingly grateful to all the people who have made this possible. And most of all, to this wonderful British, American, Lebanese, Ivory Coast citizen.
Bye. Thanks everyone for watching. That was very sweet. I really enjoyed that, Rishabh. Stay safe. Enjoy your view.
Thank you so much. You've been a sport. You've been really nice. Thank you so much for doing what you have done for us. And we really hope to catch you very soon at one of our offline conferences. And I promise I won't be the host.
I would love for you to be the host. And please, ladies who are watching, please come join Malini's Girl Tribe. I would love to continue this conversation with you. I know you're going to find a lot of love there. So I'm very happy to have you.
A lot of light, positivity, and respect. Thank you so much, Malini. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.